into the game and grabs it for the score. Stephen Jones, a hug for Dad. And the whole Jones family.
That's right. The Dallas Cowboys defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 20-17, and we got to talk about it, guys. We're live post-game. Dallas Cowboy win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go. Yes, we're live, guys. I know it's late, and I want to thank y'all for joining me, man. But we here, man, post-game coverage of the Dallas Cowboys' amazing win over the Pittsburgh Steelers this evening, 20-17, after a stormy evening. I mean, the game was delayed. Didn't know if they was going to get it in. They had all the rain, the lightning coming down on the field, but they got the game in, and the Dallas Cowboys pulled this thing out, man. And I wasn't for sure if they was going to be able to do it or not, but they did prevail with all the mistakes that happened in the game. I'm really surprised that they kept their pause late in the, in the fourth quarter. I mean, we had moved the ball, really moved the ball really great. I think they had probably over 400 and some yards in total offense. But the penalties once again, man, came back to bite the well, this time they bit the Pittsburgh Steelers, but too many penalties, man, in crucial moments. And we left a lot out on the field, man. Didn't get enough touchdowns in those red zones. But we'll talk about it, man. I think the player of the game, you got to give it up for that kid, Jalen Tolbert, man. Like I said, we didn't know if Tolbert was going to be able to play that last play because he was injured on the previous play, but he came in and did his job, man. But again, the Dallas Cowboys, man, left a lot on the field. You're on the road, you playing a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're in a hostile environment, and yet, they kept their pause. I thought Dak had a so-so game. He did come through in the waning moments, as he should have. You're getting paid $60 million. You got to play, like a $60 million quarterback, and he did prevail. He stayed the course, didn't give up, didn't drop his head. Seemed like once again him and CeeDee Lamb weren't on the same page a couple of plays here and there, but they got it together and they held on to the victory. But there's a lot to talk about. Some of the things are keys to the game that I thought, man, was again they had a lot of turnovers, but the turnovers didn't come back to bite them, so to speak. I want to start with how we ran the football. I think the kid Rico Dotto, man, did an excellent job. He ran hard. I mean, this was the first game where I really saw the Dallas Cowboys backs attacking the line, in front of the line, and give those guys a lot of credit, man. He had around about 69 yards there in the third quarter, but then he picked up 89 yards, man. I think he had a total of 116 yards with 27 yards in reception. So I think he was a player of the game, or one of the players of the game, because I think the kid Jalen Tolbert definitely stepped up his game. And once again, man, we see our linebackers, them two young linebackers, Leofold and Overshawn. Hey, man, I think, man, once them boys become seasoned, I really believe, man, we got something in the making with those two linebackers, for they very speedy to the ball. If you saw the one play, I think with Leofold, man, he came through. The guy from the Pittsburgh Steelers actually had the ball. He went straight in and punched that ball out. So big shout out to our linebackers. I thought they did a magnificent job. And even with, our front, man, our defensive line, boy, let me tell you something. When you got, you're talking about, you're down to your third edge rushers. The guy, Wheat, number 91, he comes in, man, after Nealon goes down with a knee injury. I think they still trying to test and see what's going on with his knee. But after he goes out of the game, you got Wheat coming into the game. And I thought our edge rushers, man, did a decent job. It wasn't, it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad at all. They held, man. They held serve. They kept Fields, man, for the most part, man, from getting outside. And they stretched those plays out and turned those plays back inside. That's what you want your defensive ends to do. And they did that, man. Give them boys a lot of credit. Joseph and them came to play. Linfield Joseph. I mean, you talking about penetration, man. They was in the backfield several times, man. So you know, we made a lot of mistakes offensively. Again, getting down there in the red zone. I think early on, man, you had 3 trips down in the red zone and only come away with 6 points. Usually that's a recipe for disaster. You usually don't win on the road against good teams like that. You got to come away with points at some point. I thought the turnovers, man, definitely was a sore a black eye. To have those kind of turnovers and those kind of moments, you get hit, fumble the ball, and then you come back and him and CeeDee Lamb is not on the same page and they throw the pick. And again, I was listening to the announcers of the game. What are they doing? I mean, he started drifting, and I don't know if Dak was anticipating, him to stop right there or what it was. But man, they got to get on the same page. You just can't have those kind of costly turnovers, because those types of turnovers can cause you to lose many games in the National Football League. And so I just, Dak kind of, waved him off on the sideline, and CD was mumbling some words or whatever. But I guess, that's what you want to do. You want to keep your pores. You want to stay focused and stay in the moment. And that's what Dak chose to do. Didn't go back and forth with CD. But guys, man, they got to get that together, because you just can't have those kind of mistakes. I want to talk about on the defense side of the ball again. I don't know what we're going to do with our safeties. I really don't know. I think the young corner that stepped in, number 27, I can't really pronounce his name, but Ariue or something to that effect. Nevertheless, man, I think he was the one we got from Minnesota Vikings. He came over after they did the trade with the other defensive back that went to the Minnesota Vikings. But that kid came in and played outstanding plays. I thought he did a magnificent job with the limited time and reps that you normally get in practice. But he came and showed up, man, and played like a professional night. And that's all you can ask to these guys, man. Some of these guys, they don't get a whole lot of reps. And if you're not getting your reps on the scout team, hey, man, where do you find your reps? Especially if you're active. It'll be different if they had you inactive. But when you got to step up and play and you can go out and make plays like the way they did, man, you got to give those young boys came and played, man. They came and played. We still got the Ron Bland out. We had a young rookie, man, Kalen Carson is out. So for that guy to come in, man, and play the way he did, hey, man, get that young man a game ball. But again, overall, they didn't push the Dallas Cowboys around. Much was being talked about, how physical Pittsburgh, defense was, and them having a top-ranked defense, top 5 defense. Offense, man, was physical up front. Our defensive line was physical up front. And that's the type of game you want to play against a blue-collar team like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Mike Zimmer, kind of led tonight, if you will, in terms of, I can kind of sense probably what he told those guys in the locker room, even doing practice, because, Mike Zimmer kind of have that kind of disposition as a defensive coordinator. He's going to, point you out. He's going to cuss you out. He's going to make sure you understand, the tempo of the defense and your assignment and what is expected of you. And I think he did a great job of calling the defense tonight. So, we're going to talk about it when they're doing bad, and we're going to talk about it, man, when they're doing good. And tonight they did good. I don't think too many people picked the Dallas Cowboys to pull this game out, but they did. But I got to point something out, man, on defense, man, that I'm kind of getting sick and tired of with our safeties, man. Malik Hooker. I just got to pause a little bit with Malik Hooker, y'all, because you got to understand, Malik Hooker was a top. I know he went in the first round. I can't remember exactly what his draft selection was. But Malik Hooker, man, I mean, I've watched him play the last few weeks, and this guy have missed interceptions, been out of place, and I'm not understanding. You come over from the Indianapolis Colts, you had a Pro Bowl, a couple of Pro Bowls, I believe he made with the Indianapolis Colts, and it seemed like ever since he tore his Achilles and we picked him up, man, it's like he just haven't been playing as well as I expect for Malik Hooker to play. He missed another interception that hit him dead in the hands. Those are the type of plays. It was early on in the game, but those are the kind of plays, man, when you can get the ball back to your offense. And he missed another interception. And then along with that, when the Pittsburgh Steelers got that touchdown, he didn't get enough depth. They say you got to get as deep as the deepest. when you're playing safety, you got to get as deep as the deepest. And he didn't get over there in time to cover that tight end from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm just wondering, man, when do your eyes tell you where to go? When do you recognize on what to do, where to go? This is all pre-snap read. Everybody got keys out there that they got to read. And so I'm not understanding how he's sitting there looking with the depth that he have, because you got to understand, safeties are the last line of defense. They are as far as back as anybody. They are scanning the entire field. So I'm just wondering, where's his eyes at? What are you looking at to see this tight end just run freely, doing out where you can't get over there in time because you get in a traffic jam when you should have just looped around the guy? But anyway, the Pittsburgh Steelers tight end, he makes the catch, man, and scored a touchdown. And I just threw my hands in the air, man, because Malik Hooker, man, he's not playing like the Malik Hooker that came out of Ohio State. Not in my estimation. He's not playing like the Malik Hooker that made the Pro Bowl with the Indianapolis Colts. And this is not just tonight. The next time you all watch the Dallas Cowboys play, I want you to watch number 28 at safety, because there are certain things, man, rules and fundamentals and keys to the game that just they coach it even at a high school and even in college, man, at that level. You in the pros now, man, and you making those kind of mistakes. You can't catch the football. You drop interceptions, man. I mean, against the Ravens, he was beating on several plays, and I pointed that out on the show. But it's just getting ridiculous now, and I think if they don't do something about this, man, if Al Harris, man, don't correct this, I mean, he's used to working with DBs and them, he made Deron Bland into a all-pro corner, and look what he's done with Trayvon Diggs. I know they have to be talking about it, addressing it some kind of way, but he's gonna have to, man, go in and make some adjustment with Malik Hooker, man, because again, he had another breakdown, drop interception, beating on the touchdown, just because it wasn't like he was out of position. I don't know where his eyes are going. What is his eyes telling him at free safety? I mean, again, it's all pre-snap read. And if you're the deepest as the deepest, you got to see this man running down the sideline. I just don't get it with Malik Hooker, man, but that's something that has to be corrected. And another thing that needs to be corrected, again, is these doggone penalties. Look, you had Ezekiel Elliott come in, he get the first down. Then the lineman, number 67, Hoffman, he go down and get a 15-yard personal foul after he picked up the first down. Make it make sense. Then you had, I think it was two back-to-backs. In the third quarter with like 4 minutes left, you had two back-to-back false starts. One by CeeDee Lamb, another one by Bass. I mean, this was back-to-back. And I'm just asking myself, first and foremost, I don't even know how you really false start at wide receiver. I mean, because you're looking down the line. So it's just crazy, man. This is just all about focusing. All about focusing. That's it. But let's take a look at this last touchdown, man. This game winner right quick again, man, because this kid, Jalen Tolbert, man, was actually, man, I guess the way he went down for the ball when Dak threw it, I guess he must have hurt his groin or whatever he did, but he toughened it out and stayed in the game. And when you do things like that, man, great things happen, like this. Yeah, that was the game-winning touchdown catch by Jalen Tolbert, man. And so big shout out to Jalen Tolbert. I'm proud of that young man because, he was drafted, man, I think in the second or third round out of South Alabama, and I think he struggled tremendously as a rookie, like a lot of times some rookies do. But he didn't kill his confidence. He stayed the course, man, and kept working out in all season and wanting to get better. And now he's having his opportunity, man, to prove that he was deserving of the draft selection in which the Dallas Cowboys drafted him. So big shout out to that young man. I mean, I'm happy to see when young people, man, are able to fight through adversity and overcome some setbacks, some inabilities here and there, because there's a kind of like a grading curve. To be able to fight through that, man, and come through what they did, I mean, you can't say enough about a kid like that. But again, this was a great game. And what do you really expect when the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers get together? It's gonna be some drama somewhere. It's gonna be a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I thought the referees, on that personal foul. I don't know if y'all saw it the way I did. I didn't think the helmet actually went under the guy's chin. And this was on Wheat. I know he hit him, but I noticed he was sideways. I thought it was football, right? I thought he leaned, maybe led with his head, but he turned sideways and hit him. They called a 15-yard penalty when he hit quarterback Justin Fields. But again, the game is starting to become like flag football. So much so where you see these guys now, they raising their pants, they knee pads, what used to be knee pads, all the way up to their thigh almost. And I'm like, where they do this at? And I'm wondering when one of these, the commissioner or in college football or whatever, somebody correct this. Because when I was playing ball back in the day, man, look here, man, you wore elbow pads. I seen guys wear neck rolls and knee pads, and they had butt pads. Look here, man, all kind of things. Nowadays, man, they won't even let these kids play football anymore. Everybody, man, got like a cushion, So I'm like, man, when you gonna let them play football, man? And I didn't think that play should have been actually called a personal foul, but they called that foul, man, and I just kind of shaking my head, man. I said, man, we losing a lot of sting to the game. Where those type of plays would have been known as big, bang bang plays, but they actually call that as a personal foul on Wheat, and I don't know. But again, I like this. I keep showing this play right here, man, because I think. Well, this is the play before that, right here when Jalen got hurt right here. See, he could have came out of the game right there. See, when things like that happen in the course of a game, man, you're gonna know. You're gonna be able to know who your teammates are. You're gonna be able to look at them, look at those individuals, man, look in their eyes and know who they are. Who's gonna be there with you when you need them? Come third, fourth down, November, December, cold weather, rainy games. You need players like that, man, that you willing to go to war with, man. So for that young man again to stay in the game, man. So big shout out to him. But again, Dak Prescott, man, they had I think he had 2 interceptions. I don't know what his stats exactly were, but I think he had to pass for over at least 300 yards this evening. He had some throws I know he wished he had back. For a minute there, the $60 million quarterback looked like the 60-cent man at one point. I just thought some of the plays, his pocket awareness, when you got a guy like TJ Watts, man, rushing off the end, especially on that fumble when they got down there in the goal line, man, you got to be aware of TJ Watts. I mean, that's just what it is. He did a great job of filling him when he threw that dump off to get that first down out of the backfield to the back. But man, I'm just, if you don't have a chip block over there, and you got a guy like Terrence Steele that's sitting there blocking TJ Watts one-on-one, say, man, you got to be conscious of where this man is at. Because TJ Watts is a handful. He is a handful, and he on several plays, he proved that. And that's the kind of pass rush, man, we want to get back to. We want to get back when it's money time. We want to get back the way, TJ Watts is. It's like third down and whatever, man. He got to go make a play. We got to get Michael Parsons, them boys back healthy, man, so we can get playmakers that's going to make a play on third down the way TJ Watts do. I didn't think the Steelers played too bad. A bad game. I think this was a great challenge, kind of a barometer type game to kind of get a feeling of where the Dallas Cowboys are at. And I think if they continue, man, to grind and those young players can continue to get better, man, I think Dallas got something in the making. But again, they got to cut the penalties out. That's going to be crucial. They got to cut the penalties out. Yeah, this is the replay. This is the live post game Cowboys coverage, man. Again, Dallas Cowboys defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 20-17, and I know it's one of those late games because they got a late delay. But imagine if you was on the East Coast, the game didn't go up to almost 1:00 on the East Coast. But a game that could have been canceled got played. And this was a much needed win, a big road win for the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't know what they're going to do when they get back home, y'all. I don't know what they're gonna do. But let me shout my guy, Curtis Medlock, my boy Blow, man. Blow called good money. Blow said earlier when we was on the pregame, he said the Cowboys gonna win tonight. He said the Dallas Cowboys gonna win tonight, and the reason why they gonna win tonight because they win the game they supposed to lose, and they lose the games they supposed to win. And when he said that, I said, Blow, look here, man. You're not far off. You're not far off. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys victory this evening over the Pittsburgh Steelers 20-17. And I'm quoting my boy Blow, man. So Blow, big shout out to you, man. You called it, man. You called good money. You said they win a game they supposed to lose, and then they lose a game they supposed to win. That's the typical Dallas Cowboys, right? Because again, I had the Steelers winning by 4 simply because I just felt like their defense was playing they had a ranked number 4 in the league. They was playing lights out. They at home coming off a loss. I didn't have all the confidence in Justin Fields, but at the same time, I'm looking at our defense. I'm just looking at the Cowboys defense and the players that we had out. Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence. We got all the way down to our 3rd string defensive end edge rusher. But we came in. He may have gotten that personal foul, but sometimes, when you hitting those guys and getting those fouls, they don't come back to hurt you. Shoes, man, that give you confidence because them, believe it or not, them quarterbacks, man, they feel every last one of those hits. So, it's not like college. You get a hit like that and they throw you out the game. No, when you hit a quarterback, man, like that, trust me, Justin Fields, he feels every last one of those hits. So, but those defensive ends, man, I can't say enough about them, man. I'm really happy the way they stepped up this evening, man. They are professionals. That's what you're supposed to do. When they talk about next man up, that's what they talk about. Next man up. Next man up. So big shout out to the Dallas Cowboys defensive lineman. Mozzie, I gotta say something. I give you credit against the New York Giants, and man, you got that penalty, man, and I didn't hear from you anymore, man. So I don't know. You gotta get consistent. I'm telling you, they will find a replacement for you, man. They'll go ahead and cut their losses. I'm telling you. So I'm rooting for the young man because again, he was Dallas' 1st round pick, man, and he played really well against the New York Giants, but I didn't hear a whole lot from him. In fact, that boy Lynn Joseph and them coming there, man, they balled out on that defensive line. But again, collectively, they play as a unit. And that's all you can ask for at the end of the day, man, because that's not to go into Pittsburgh, man, and win a game like that, where you got to grind it out for 4 quarters, toughen it out. You saw little Jordan Lewis, little scrappy Jordan Lewis, man, and some of the stuff that he was doing, I couldn't do no more. It just reminded me a lot of myself in a way, man, because you out there, man, you trying to give it everything you got. You got receivers, man, trying to hit you at the last minute. The offensive line was pushing you around. But little Jordan Lewis, he was scrapping out there, man. He was scrapping. So the individuals who are focused. The individuals who are locked into the game. But again, I think Pittsburgh, man, still got a little bit more work to do. I think they defense, man, what can you say? I mean, the defense was the defense. I think Washington made plays. The secondary made plays. I don't know if they had enough plays on the outside with Pickens and them, they receivers. But again, you got to give Dallas defense a lot of credit. They hear the noise, trust and believe. They hear the noise, they hear the clippings, they read the clippings, they know what the world is against them, back is against the wall. Nobody's picking them to win. So those are the kind of games, man. These are signature wins that you can put down and build on. So the Dallas Cowboys went in and handled their business. Let's see if we got some other highlights, man, from the game. I'm trying to check real quick. I think this was probably the play when Overshawn almost had the interception right here. Yeah, I think that's another drop interception right there. We dropped about at least, man, I think 3 interceptions that I'm aware of. I know Overshawn had one. I talked about Malik Hooker. I really thought Trayvon Diggs would get one. I really did, but we was around the ball. That's all you can add. We was flying around the ball. Lil Turpin. Oh, another big shout out to Lil Turpin. I think Devontae Turpin, man, did an excellent job, man. I mean, You know, Mike McCarthy drew up a few plays for Turpin, and that's really what you want to do. It's like when he's a shifty little guy and trying to hold him in that slot. You see the defensive back from the Pittsburgh Steelers that got the holding call number 31 on him. You want to put Turpin, man, and play to his strengths, because believe me, coming out that slot, man, that's a hard cover. It looked easy when you sitting on the couch from a TV, but trust and believe, you get those little guys like Javonte Turpin, man, them little shifty, speedy guys, man, that is a tough cover. I'm telling you. I mean, so and Turpin stepped up, man. He made a couple of catches, man, that I was like, okay, down the sideline. I mean, for him to even grab that ball, because he's a little guy. I don't even think he weighed no more than probably 135 pounds, standing about 5'7". So for him to make that tough catch he made down the middle of the field and on the sideline, man, that was one heck of a doggone catch, man, if you ask me. But again, when you see plays like that, all those plays are confident builders, man. Confident builders. You can take those type of plays, man, and go back to the drawing board and look at the things you did well and look at the things you didn't do not so well. But you can build on those, because it's a long season. It's a long season, people. I'm telling you right now, it's a long season. That's why I don't worry about them team. Oh man, did you see so and so, so and so, so and so? No, man, you got to learn to control your own destiny. I'm telling you, because a lot of them teams you see starting out fast, man, they wind up falling. They wind up falling back. They wind up falling back. So I don't even think about it a whole lot, man. But again, the Dallas Cowboys win tonight, guys. This is just a real quick replay to recap, man, right here on the Replay Sports Show. And we're gonna talk about this thing a little bit later on during the week too, and try to get all the college scores that we saw over the weekend too, because there was a lot of big college games that was played this past weekend. You got the Texas OU weekend coming up, and since a lot of those teams fell in the top 10, they failed over the weekend. We anything can happen in those rival games and those shootouts. So we're gonna talk about that later on. But tonight it's all about the Dallas Cowboys. Steeler Nation. I mean, hey man, I mean, I hate when y'all play the Dallas Cowboys, but again, as I said earlier, it is what it is. I know the Steelers fans, Miss Sherry out there. Sherry, better luck next time. I'm gonna shout you out. Better luck next time. And to my uncle, Big A, hey man, I'm gonna check on you tomorrow. Make sure you take all your shoestrings out your shoes and dispose of them. I'm gonna check on you tomorrow. He's a big time Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, I got my other partner too, man. My boy Bones. Yeah, big time Steelers fan. I got to check on them fellas tomorrow, man, because this is one of these games that keeps you up at night. And I know they was nervous. I think they kind of thought, game was over with when they went down and scored the Steelers. But like I say, Dallas got the ball back and went down there and did their business. So, but recapping again, the Dallas Cowboys over the Pittsburgh Steelers 20-17. Both teams fall to 3-2. Dallas stays in second place behind the Washington Commanders in the NFC East, while the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they're in the same weight, in the same bracket as the Dallas Cowboys, with the Ravens leading over in the AFC. They follow 3-2 behind the Baltimore Ravens. Or they could be tied 3. I think they both 3-2, but they may give the Ravens the slight edge right now. But nonetheless, it's a long season. Still got a long ways to go. So, want to jump on here real quick to recap, man, this game that was played tonight. Once again, these two storybook franchises get at it again, rekindling that relationship. I love to see good football, and that was good football. So, again, shout out to both teams, but Dallas was the victorious winners tonight, and we look forward to next week, and we'll be live again. I want to appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for jumping on. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share, notification button. This is the replay, and I'm your host, Real Deal Jabril. Go over to YouTube, or you can find me on Facebook. I got 2 shows. I got this show, the Replay Sports Show, as well as Black Bocracy Podcast. Black Bocracy, BLAC-VOCRCY. And we talk about it all on the Black Bocracy Podcast. So again, I want to thank you guys for jumping on with me on the pregame show as well as the postgame show. That was big time. Much love. And tell a friend, and I'll keep coming with the content. Y'all have a good evening. I know it's late. They want to keep y'all up any longer than I have to. So have a good evening, and we'll talk soon. Peace and love.